Hi class, episode 5 here again. Today's a beautiful day. So today, let's talk about how to prepare for a developmental course. So developmental courses are the courses where a student coming from high school and they unfortunately fail the placement test. And now after the placement test, there are usually two developmental courses where one, it's 009, where it's the very basic fundamentals of mathematics, and then 010, that's the second one, where you're dealing with factoring, square roots, conjugates, all a bunch of the more close. It's very close to Math 136, which is the basic standard for a college level math course that you're supposed to know how to do. So for today, we'll just talk about the first level of a developmental course. So this is mainly for the students to understand that what do we have to do as a student to prepare yourself for this. So generally, when you're first starting, you're probably thinking, oh my God, why the F am I in this course? Like, I know how to add, 2 plus 3 is 5, or 4 minus 2 is 6. Do they think I'm a retard? Do they think I'm do I think they have a mental issue or something? Like, that's probably how most people would think. I know that because I used to think I was that way. Believe me, I understand that feeling. And that you're thinking, oh, this is a waste of time because you get no credit for this course at all. And that it's a waste of time, you would think. You would think so, but it's actually not that bad. It's because for whatever reason, whatever happened to you in high school, that you were thinking, you were probably thinking of having fun, not even trying to pass these math courses, and you were passing with like 80 or 90, maybe even 100, like flying colors. And that it was rather interesting that you're thinking, college, it's not gonna be that hard. I'm just gonna do what I can, do like my usual stuff I would do in high school, and it should work, and I should get by. Wrong. That's why you ended up in the developmental course. Same thing happened to me. I did the same thing. I did the same BS nonsense, thinking I can just cruise on by. Not to say that I cut classes. I just really didn't care, honestly, at a certain point. Now, how to prepare for this course? So let's think. You prepare first by swallowing your pride, swallowing your ego, and put that aside. Because think about it. Even though you may say, oh, I know how to do this, I know how to do, how to multiply numbers, how to divide and stuff like that, but do you know how to do fractions very well? If your answer is no, then that's why you're in the course. So the reason why I say the first thing you should do is put aside your ego, because that in itself will make you take this course all over again and again and again. So please understand, you need to take this course seriously, even though it's very easy. You need to take the course seriously. Definitely set aside your ego, because it will definitely hinder you in your future math courses if you have to take any other ones. For example, like pre-calculus, calculus 2, and so forth and so on. Now, what's the next thing to prepare for this course? I would say you need to know your times table. Yes, it sounds silly, and the thing is, when I say you need to know your times table, you should at least know the minimum from 1 through 20, not 1 through 10, Not 1 through 12, 1 through 20. Understand that it's necessary for you as a student to know these things, because when you're going to try to find the least common denominator, that's going to be necessary, 100% necessary for you to actually know how to do the LCD. Because if you don't, fractions will stump you again and again and again. That's another good advice. And have a very good study habit. Like, when I say very good, we're talking at least 3 to 4 hours a day studying, because you want to make certain that even though you did it in class, the work, and maybe you did the homework, but just because you did the homework doesn't necessarily mean you understood the concept. That's why you have to use all the resources available to you, especially if the teacher is being willing to work with you in such a way that you know what's going on. They're willing to help you go the extra mile just for you. Another one, let's see. Another reason to prepare for the first level of a developmental course would be get to know friends, get to know people, because you never know who's actually the smart person in the class. You need to know who you can talk to, who you can work with, so this way you could have study buddies to help you pass this first level of math. It's not easy to do as well, because no one really teaches you to ask for help. Nobody. That's why doing this will help you, because you don't have to have a huge study group, like 5 people, nah. If you just get at least 1 person or even 2 people, that's more than enough. You don't need no more than that. Because when you get too many people on studying a group, you guys end up chilling instead of actually studying. So I definitely recommend 1 or 2 friends. Have a small circle group. You don't need a huge circle group when you're doing these types of courses. Let's see, what's another one? I will probably say another reason to help you guys prepare for this developmental course is to not to be afraid to ask questions. Every single time I ask this question, is there any questions before I move on to the next subject, the next topic? It's silence. You can hear a pin drop, or you can just hear someone's phone go off very easily. Nobody asks questions. So I dare you, if you're in a developmental course, I dare you to ask as many questions as necessary for you to learn. Because remember, it's not for me you're asking these questions. You're doing it for yourself, because you want to make certain you know this stuff. So this way, when it comes to a midterm, quiz, or even a final, you're not sitting there dumbfounded like, huh? How do I do this? You're not sitting there looking silly for no reason. You want to be able to have the confidence to actually, when you see that test, you should be like, this is a joke, right? You guys didn't really think I wouldn't know how to do this, right? That's what I would strive for if I was a student again. But I am a student, / teacher at the same time. That's why it's a little different for me versus a student. But a student still has to be humble, in the sense that you need to take the course seriously, and you need to be able to ask millions of questions if possible. But if not, just ask enough questions till you are satisfied. All right, so that's my advice. Those are some tips from me to tell you guys how to deal with a developmental course of the first level. And we'll cover the next one another time, because most likely the rest of the week I should be able to start going back to the topic of calculus again. So be sure to look out for that soon. So I want to thank you guys for watching Absolute 5. Share, like, and subscribe to this channel. Also, if you like my content, be sure to hit the bell button right beside the subscribe button. And that, never forget, math is infinite because there are infinitely many possibilities.